Okay, this is the URL if you happen to have a Bank of America mortgage and you're interested in finding out how to avoid a foreclosure and at the same time be able to stay at home. You will go to homeloanhelp.bankofamerica.com/EN as in English, and then /stay-in-home.html. Once you get to the page, if you scroll down, it'll give you all the options that Bank of America is currently providing to every one of its borrowers. You can either refinance, and typically this will work if you have at least 5% or 3% equity in your home. And if you have an interest rate that's higher, of course, than the current interest rate, which depending on your credit score may be between 3.5% and 3.75%, which is pretty low. So if you have an interest rate that's in the fours, I would consider clicking on learn more or giving them a call and finding out if this is an option for you. If you have very low to no equity, you can still reach out to them if you have a Freddie Mac mortgage. Bank of America has an arrangement with Freddie Mac backed mortgages that they will work with you and still help you refinance your loan. Most of the homeowners that I speak with are going through a temporary financial hardship, and if that's your case, then you would click here for the forbearance option, and it will go into details on how you can apply for forbearance. Typically, it would last anywhere between 30 days to 90 days as a forbearance period. If you have an FHA loan, you can do an FHA loan modification if it's a financial hardship that you think will go beyond the 90-day period. And if you do not have an FHA loan, you can still click here under Bank of America Home Loan Modification, because they have their own in-house loan modification process that they might be able to work with you. Again, if you feel your financial hardship is going to go beyond the 90-day period. If you have a HELOC or a home equity line of credit or an actual home equity loan, you would click here, and that's where you'll find information on how to modify the terms in your HELOC or your home equity loan in order to make your payments more affordable. They also have this thing here called Hardest Hit Fund, which talks about areas in the U.S. or cities within the U.S. that have seen the biggest housing price declines. And I found an article put out by CNBC that says in 2020, this article was written in 2019, by the way. Let me bring it up again. It was published 2004-2019 in reference to the 2020 housing market expectations. So this is even before the coronavirus, but when it was published in December of last year, it said some of the biggest cities that may see the most drastic price declines include Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, Miami, St. Louis, Detroit, and San Francisco. But now that we're facing this COVID-19 coronavirus, we're very likely to see a drop in housing prices all over the United States. So if you have already started to see a decline in prices in your neighborhood, I would go ahead and click on learn more here and reach out to them and see if this would be a best option for you in order to help you avoid foreclosure and stay in your home at the same time. If you want to reach out to a third party counseling service, someone that has no ties to Bank of America, you can click here and they'll pair you up with a nonprofit organization, government backed or government sponsored organization that you can talk to and have them explain to you in more details how the different options, what the different options are, first of all, and then how each of those can benefit you or may not benefit you. And then lastly, if you have already received a lis pendens, a notice of default, and you have a pending auction date or foreclosure auction date, you can click here and you can speak with them about how to avoid the pending foreclosure. Lastly, if you have any questions you think you may have, you can click here and they have a list of most of the frequently asked questions. But I want to scroll up a little bit and click on forbearance, as that is one of the questions that I seem to be getting a lot recently. Once you click on forbearance, it'll take you to this page. The URL to go there directly it's right here. And then if you scroll down, it'll mention that this would apply as a viable option if you're thinking your financial hardship, and that's rule number one. You have to be going through a financial hardship. But if your financial hardship is going to be temporary or less than 90 days, then this might be a viable option for you to look at. And then um, if, by the way, you're not eligible or you get declined, like I had mentioned earlier, look into doing a loan modification where they will actually change the terms of your loan, like I described in a previous video that I made, including your interest rate from a variable to a fixed, the length of your term from a 30-year to a 40-year, and in order to make your monthly payment a more affordable monthly payment. But be aware that if you're going to reach out to them, there are going to be a few items you're going to have in line to readily provide to them, and that is your loan number, of course, the monthly pre-tax income of each of the borrower on the loan, description of your financial hardship, details about your monthly household expenses, any unemployment benefits you may be receiving currently, and the amount of homeowners association dues if you live in a homeowners association or condo association. Lastly, you can reach out to them via the phone between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you speak any other language than English, then they have operators standing by to speak several other languages, including Spanish. All right, that is it for this video on how to avoid a foreclosure and stay in your home if you happen to have a mortgage loan with Bank of America.